Are you ready? Are you ready for the BS show? We back. We back for some more. And where's the intro music?
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
I didn't even know we were recording because I didn't hear the intro music. I was like, are you like psyching me out? Are you fake recording? What are you doing?
Psyching you out, bro. So before we begin, make sure you guys do check the description below. We got a lot of stuff down there. We got a VPN service. Make sure you guys protect yourself. We always say protect yourself, and security is getting even more and more real. It's real. Also, Buzz TV's got some new products coming soon. So make sure you guys do check that below. So I wanted to kick things off. This is okay. So this is titled to when you go to a conference, and I know I did put tech conference because I'm trying to be as broad as I can without. I'm probably, you know what, I'm probably gonna change the title of this. When you go to a convention
Virtual or physically?
both. So I just recently did a conference yesterday. May 5th, I don't even know what day it is. May 4th, May 5th, one of the last 2 days. May 4th, May 5th. I don't know. This week of 2022. And I text you and I said, "Hey, are you going?" And you said, "Hell to the no." You don't want to go because that means you have to commit to making videos.
And I'm taking a break at the moment, yes.
And we know you're not a YouTuber.
I'm not a YouTuber.
And you're on sabbatical. So, oh man. Okay. Have you ever seen? And you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. This is what I am gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do though. I am gonna be bashing a little bit. I am gonna be talking some smack a little bit. And I think this comes from inexperienced and experienced. But because I've been to these before and you haven't been to like a CES yet. But you've done virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of like you have some experience, but not much. I have experience, but not enough. And you know, this isn't like the do all, this is what you should do, shouldn't do, but this is like some of the basic things I think a person should know. So I'm trying to, how do I do this? What have you reviewed product wise on your channel?
I've done headphones. I've done. Oh man. There was the Rocket stuff that I've done.
The keyboards, the mouses, yeah.
Yeah, I've done a Chromebook.
Laptop, yeah.
Yeah. Not a whole lot, but I mean a couple things here and there. I mean Android boxes, Fire sticks, that's standard.
So,
right?
okay, here's my second question. What have you been playing with that you haven't reviewed on your channel, and you might not never review it on your channel?
What have I been exploring tech-wise that I wouldn't review on my channel?
Or maybe you haven't gotten around to it, or maybe you
Well,
might not.
that's like the story of my life. It's like everything.
So just name 3 things that you would love to do, but you just don't have the time to do it. Or maybe you just
Well, I
don't
mean,
want to do it, you just want to enjoy it.
I spend a lot of time working on my crypto mining farm,
Okay.
and that's stuff that I could make videos on, or I could unbox because I have a lot of graphics cards. I could be
Yeah.
doing, setup of the graphics cards, or I've been buying ASIC machines for crypto mining as well. So I could be
Mhm.
doing videos on those. Outside of crypto mining, hmm, that's kind of where a lot of my time is right now, is the crypto mining stuff. Uh, I
So
think
name
that
name name two more things. Two more things that's not crypto.
networking.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of people need to have some form of knowledge when it comes to switches or power line adapters. And I also think that people need a basic knowledge of UPS systems. So I buy a lot of UPS systems. I buy a lot of power line adapters and stuff like that. And the first thing I think about when I'm setting up a new internet connection is, do I have a UPS system for it?
Mhm.
So that's, I think I would like to. I could see myself making videos about UPS systems and power lines.
So let's just say you're going to a conference
Hmm.
and you know about graphics cards. You probably do a lot of your research on the graphics cards, on how much power it generates.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Because I've learned a lot about power consumption since I've started crypto mining. Because
mhm,
a breaker can only handle so many watts.
mhm,
How many graphics cards can I put on that breaker or the outlet before I blow it? I don't want to
mhm.
start fire.
Yeah.
So
So when you go to GeForce, NVIDIA, EVGA, whoever, if you go to all these different types of companies, um, Tough, whoever, it doesn't matter who it is, and you go over there and they're presenting the new 7080.
okay, I get where you're going.
You know what I mean? When you go there, let's just say you do zero research. You haven't done any research on anything. And actually, you can't really do much research on something that they're announcing,
Okay.
because they're announcing it right there and then. They're saying, like, boom, we just pulled this out. Can you think of 5 questions that will be relevant, that will not make you look like you have no idea what you're talking about? That will be a good representation of somebody that will say, "Hey, I need to give you this because you're going to do a good review on this thing."
Well,
5 questions out of your head, maybe three. I'm giving five because I'm trying to push you.
well, you don't need to know anything about the actual item. Like, if you're interested in that item and you know it's going to be released and you don't know anything about it, you could be researching the previous generation products. Like, how does this compare to the previous versions? How does it compare to the market? Um, you know,
That's 2 questions right there.
they need to answer, like, okay, if I was to approach a company and they're doing a conference, right? At first, I approach them as a consumer. It's their job off the bat, irregardless who walks up to their booth, to sell that product to me, to make me want it, right? And if they can do that in a conversation and I'm interacting, because I have to genuinely want to buy this. Because I'm not going to put something on display and tell people this is the greatest thing since sliced bread if I ain't even eaten the sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, I got to be incentivized. Like, why should, like, what problem does it solve?
Mhm.
Is it solving a problem, or is it, like, a lot of times advancements in technology is very incremental. So a problem is being solved, and just the newer versions are just doing it maybe more efficient. They're doing it faster. They're doing it better. Okay, well, how much faster can I do it? How much better can I do it? You know what I mean? Like, what other applications can I use this for? Like, it depends on what the actual item is. But generally, you want to know, how does this make my life better?
Yeah.
Or how does it make my passion better? Because a lot of times we buy things that don't necessarily make our life better, but we're passionate about them. You know what I mean?
Hmm. So I got to experience something that I didn't think I was going to experience, and I kind of had to bite my tongue a little bit. I did blurb a couple things, and I probably made the other guy feel dumb. So, okay, so if we're going to a conference,
Yeah.
or if we're going to a product review, actually, you know what? Like Samsung, like they're like, hey, here is this new phone. Boom, explosions, commercials, whatever, you know. And they kind of give you like, oh, here's the new S22 Ultra. It has A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know what I mean? They just go through the whole freaking lineup.
That's a TikTok song, by the way. But yeah.
Oh gosh, you know what I mean? Um, so when you get okay, I'm going to simplify this as much as I can. We saw the S22 Samsung phone come out. If they have colors of
Mhm.
red, green, blue, purple, black,
Periwinkle.
periwinkle, I don't even know what color that is. What the hell? Whatever the colors are. Let's just say they even give you a pamphlet, say here's the colors, right? So you have this pamphlet in your hand. Do you go up to the Samsung representative that you're trying and you're being super hopeful that you might get a free sample of that phone?
So just we know that the intention is this for a fact.
For a fact.
Okay, all right. Just making sure because sometimes we assume, but I need to know that this is the intention. This is what's happening. Okay.
This is for a fact. They give you a piece of paper and it tells you the specs, it tells you the colors, it tells you everything that you need to know about this phone. Of course, they're not going to give you like what formats does this thing have, codecs, um, the amount of pixels. That's a fat cat, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to give you like all the little, as I call it, nerdy details, but it's going to give you what the normal consumer would want to know.
Mhm.
How much memory, the
Okay.
RAM, maybe how fast it is, maybe the camera, the colors, stuff like that. So
Mhm.
when you go, most of us when we go to conferences, um, we want free shit. We like free shit. We want to go and we want to get free stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And when you go to talk to somebody, let's just say you're standing there waiting your turn to talk to somebody, not in a line, you're like next to somebody. So you're actually like you're looking at the person that's asking a question and the guy that's the representative is right there in front of you also.
Hmm.
If they say the question, their question is, "Hey, does this phone also come in black? Does this phone also come in red? Does this phone also what about periwinkle? Does it come in periwinkle?"
Like it's to me, you're wasting their time at this point.
Okay? You have that sheet and it tells you it comes in um 250 gigs of memory, 500 gigs of memory, and 1 terabyte gig of memory. And that guy now, the second question that same person just asked now says, well, does it come with 100 gigs of memory? What if I don't need 250? Does it come with 100 gigs of memory? Can I get it in 100 gigs of memory? What are your
You
thoughts
gotta
at
be
that
able,
point?
you gotta be able to process the information. Like we're in we're in a busy environment, right? A lot of times when you're in an environment like that, the interaction has to be precise, clean, and smooth where you're not trying to take up all their time because their job there is to do what they want you to do. They want you to be able to sell the items for them, right? When you do a review or an unboxing or whatever. I mean, if you have questions, take a seat. Watch him talk to a couple customers. You know what I mean? Because it's the same kind of information that your viewers are going to want when you talk about that item. Because these are real life people that are going to be walking up next after you. They're going to be asking real questions.
Yeah.
Don't waste their time.
So I kind of got mad. I got mad. You know how I get sometimes. It's like, dude, get to the fucking point sometimes. It's like, come on, you know? So, oh man. Okay, this is what happened. They're showing a so I ran into this person several times and then I try to go out of order so I don't run into this person several times. And I ran into a couple people like this person, but this one was the worst. They had a 2K doorbell camera, and during this conference, I think this camera is pretty nice. They have a front camera with the doorbell,
Mm-hmm.
and they have another camera below it pointing downwards.
For packages or for
Yeah.
what? Yeah. Okay.
That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, for packages? I'm like, dude, you could see your floor now. You could see like your front door now. Hell
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
please. I'm
Well,
like,
some people still
why
have
have
mail slots, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why haven't they thought of this yet? I'm like, there's always the front one, but why haven't they thought about doing the dual one like that? Or maybe they have, I just haven't seen them yet.
Right. You're right.
And you know me, I've been reviewing home tech security stuff and doorbells. I've been getting some from Anchor, from Augusta, from some big like companies that have a name for themselves in that security environment, Blue
Mm-hmm.
Rams, like tons of stuff, man. So Anchor has this new one that's a front and a bottom.
Honestly, anything that Anchor has, I want.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Um, the first question that this guy got was, is this a 2K camera?
It says that it's a 2K camera, doesn't it?
Yes. The name of the product is 2K front camera
Mm-hmm.
with a dual.
Were there multiple cameras, or was the only one the
No,
2K
there's
camera?
two. There's two cameras.
Okay.
But the way it's titled and the way it's presented and the way their PDF explained it, the top camera is a 2K, the bottom camera is a 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
And the document says that. And it's called a 2K front camera with a dual floor camera. The dual floor camera, it didn't say 2K, or then it would have said dual 2K camera. And I was thinking like, okay, the bottom one's a 720 probably. And then it said 1080. I'm just like, ooh, it's a 1080p? Oh, okay, cool. I can do 1080p. That's fine. I don't need it to be in freaking 8K or whatever, Just need to be able to see. So that was the first question they asked. And I'm thinking like, okay, fine. I'll let that one slide because I was thinking maybe both of them were also 2K, but I read the whole thing. Second question was, what's the purpose of that bottom camera? Like that bottom camera makes no sense to me. Why would you add a second camera on the bottom? And the first thing I thought was like, dude, if you're a YouTuber, this person's a YouTuber. He says, I'm a YouTuber, I review stuff, I get lots of packages all the time. I'm thinking like, bro, if you get lots of packages all the time, unless you have a PO box and you got to go pick it up, you just said you receive a lot of packages at home at your door. Don't you want a camera that looks at the floor? Like, hey, this package is there. And at first I was kind of like I did my little squinty face that I normally do when I'm just like, wait, what? Like, like, it's kind of like, are you stupid? And I'm just and I stayed quiet. I didn't say anything. I stayed quiet, and I'm just like, and the guy. So the rep was very. It wasn't his department of the security part of it. He was doing more of the dude. Anchor has a new power station that they're coming up with.
I love
I
power stations.
I want it,
Mm-hmm.
dude. That thing is supposed to keep your fridge. Your fridge. I think it's like a 20-hour on that thing plugged in.
That's insane.
I'm like, dude, I want that sucker. They're also coming up with a new projector, which I have some beef with digital slang when it comes to projectors. We'll get to that in a minute. But this doorbell, the guy was like, look, and he even said it. He's just like, well, he's like, if you're a YouTuber and if you get a lot of products, he's like, you should get products on your door, right? He's like, yeah. So then he goes and he shows his screen, his phone, and he's like, look, I have a camera over there in that corner behind the ledge that's facing at my door. I also have a video doorbell. So one that looks at people coming in, and then the other one that's looking at my floor. So when packages are dropped. And the guy was like, you could see the light bulb. Bing. He was like, oh, it's to look at the packages when so it's for your floor.
Where else it is it pointed? Like,
I'm like, dude, your question was, why do you need a floor camera? And then you're like, oh, it's for the floor. I was like, seriously, dude, seriously. That's what he said. So then I interrupted because it is a wireless doorbell, which
camera.
requires batteries.
They all do when they're wireless.
Yeah. This guy's question was, how long do the batteries last on that thing? And it's just like, dude, that's relative to how much traffic you get. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah.
so the guy said, he's like, well, if you don't have any traffic, this thing could last 4 to 5 months.
So it sounds like he knows absolutely nothing about the field, like that product in general. Like I've never had an outside camera, but I understand enough to know that they only come on when there's motion detected. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that. So it sounds like he knows absolutely nothing about
Right.
how they actually function.
Right. So I was that's why I kind of like bit my tongue a little bit. And he made a comment saying like I've started to review security cameras and it'll be great to start getting into doorbells. And I'm thinking like, okay, he's a baby. He hasn't even gotten his feet wet. But the PDF that they gave us before we got into the freaking virtual meeting has all this information.
Right.
It has pictures. It has all that stuff. So I interrupted and I'm just like, okay, he just should have read because everything that he's asking is on that paper. So I interrupted and I said, hey, so I heard that, you said it is battery operated. And my question is most of the time they have some sort of terminals in the back because there is power on those doorbells on the wall. So is there a way to connect those two wires inside your casing and maybe slap on some rechargeables? And the guy's like, well, you can put rechargeables and there is a port in the back. I think it was USB-C that you plug it in. But the problem is that you have to take the doorbell off to plug in the USB-C and let it charge for whatever, an hour, and then put it back on. And I'm thinking like, so I won't have a doorbell for an hour. So I'm thinking like, the ports in the back, it looks like there's two ports back there, like two ports. Can I hardwire this so that way it gets consistent power and keeps those batteries going?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you know what? He's like, actually, I think you're right. I think it does have it. He's like, you know what? I'll let you talk to the security guy because he'll be the one that will be able to geek out with you on that stuff. But I think you can though. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was challenging him a little bit. And then the guy was saying like the guy who I interrupted, who I was just like, okay, you're done, dude. So he then interrupts me and says, yeah, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I've kind of been talking here for a little bit. So can we just discuss the webcam real quick before I let everybody else go? I'm like, I want to interrupt your ass anyway. What are you talking about, fool?
Mm-hmm.
He says the webcam that they showed, it's pretty cool. You have the webcam. Actually, I have a webcam right here. They have the webcam, and there's a flip thing that comes down like this, like a privacy cover. But when you open it, there's a light on the top. So instead of having these lights, there's a light thing right here, a light bar that's built into it that pushes it out. And it also has speakers on the side. So you could use this also as a speaker and a mic. So dual functionalities, right?
Right.
Question is, by the way, this is called their 2K camera. He says, is this a 2K camera? I said, well, that's what it's called out loud. And I thought I had myself muted.
Oh, this is the virtual conference.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. And how did that go?
The guy that was talking about his product started to laugh. And he said, yes, it's a 2K camera. And then the other guy, the guy that asked the question, you can tell that he was not happy. You could definitely tell he was not happy about that. And he kind of he asked something about the light bar. Oh, he said if the camera, oh man, here's the best question ever. Is the webcam powered by USB?
Didn't you guys just talk about that?
No. He was asking about the
Oh, the
the
doorbell. Oh, the
doorbell.
webcam. Well, how else are you going to power a webcam?
I guess on the wall. I'm just like, I've never seen one go on the wall before. And I'm thinking like, okay, if you're a YouTuber, I don't care if you review or don't review web cameras. You probably did a lot of research on web cameras to know how this shit works. So if you're thinking about a webcam that's not powered by USB, dude, what the hell? So then
There are cameras that are not powered by USB, but then they're not webcams.
exactly.
Like oh my
Exactly. So then I just said, so I said yes. I answered the question. I said yes. This is powered by USB. And then I said, hey, I'm like real quick because I gotta go. Is there like how do you control the light that light bar on the top? Is there a switch um to do different modes like bright, light, warm? Is there a switch for the what's it called? The speakers to turn them off? Because what if I don't want the speakers? Like, do you have an app to control all the software stuff, like for the thing? And then he started answering the question. He's like, yeah. He's like, look, and then he grabs the camera and he says, there's a switch over here for this. There's a switch over here for this. There's a switch over here for this. Switch over here for this. And I'm just like, cool. And I'm out. And I left. I was like, I cannot deal with this guy. So then I said, it seems like him and me were both going like one at a time. I talked to Roku too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That should be fun. I should be getting some stuff. We'll see. But I've been going through the list, and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna skip a couple. So then I didn't see him for the rest of the time I was there. I skipped a couple, and then I went back afterwards.
Have you had any previous interactions with this individual before?
Never. I've never seen his YouTube channel before. I've never heard of him before. And there's a couple people that were just like, oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah. Well, if they've been to a previous tech fluence, then they would know who we are.
Yes.
Because we had like the sole proprietorship for doing the interviews in public, because we submitted all the interviews to Techfluence for them to use. I don't even know. I never went to see if they actually used our video content. Did they?
I don't know. I should email Barry and ask him. I should email and ask him. So I do have some beef with digital slang.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, I always buy my phones off of whoever my carrier is, and I have my insurance and all that stuff. And he says, "Why would you do that? That's dumb. Just buy it directly from Samsung." So I did, and then I dropped my phone for the very first time ever. Bro, ever. I don't think I've ever dropped my phone before. I've always bought insurance, never used it. I dropped my phone and I broke it. And then I asked Digital Slang, "Hey, you told me to buy it through Samsung. Do you know if this is covered?" I think it was at nighttime, so it's not like I could
Would
get
be
a hold of
covered.
Samsung. He's just like, I'm like, do you think Samsung would send me like a new one? I'm like, this thing's
No.
not even a month old. And he was just like, he's like,
You
I
dropped
don't.
it. It's not covered.
He's like, I don't know. No, his answer was, I don't know. I've never dropped my phone before. I'm like, dude, I didn't ask you if you dropped your phone before. You're the phone expert and the audio expert and all this shit expert. I'm asking you, bro, what, what do I do? And he was just like, I don't think they have a coverage of anything like that. And I'm just like, and I'm thinking like, why the hell did I buy it from Samsung? And then I'm thinking like, I hope that from my previous plan, it bleeds over into my new phone. So Verizon has a 24/7 incident thing or whatever, you know? So I started to submit my thing, and then it says we're going to connect you to a rep. And then I was on a chat thing with the representative, probably from India or something, you know? And they said, "Oh yeah, everything from your previous phone is covered on your new phone, so you're covered. It's going to cost you like $20 to fix it." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus." So I made an appointment. I sent it over, got my phone fixed, and I'm just like, freaking A. So remember how we were talking about projectors and Digital Slang was like, "Dude, get the freestyle, get the freestyle, get the freestyle." And I'm like, "How many
Did you get
lumens?"
it?
Yes, I got it. We were live on the show when I got it. He told
No,
me it was
you didn't receive
5,000.
it.
Huh?
You didn't receive it. You just ordered it.
I ordered it. I've already received it. I already have it. I've had it for a while now. My review videos for that's coming soon. But he told me, he's like, "Look it up, dude, look it up, look it up." And I'm just like, I don't think we have the full specs on this thing. And he said during that show, it has 5,000 lumens. And I'm thinking like, ooh, this is going to be better than my Optima, because I think my Optima is 4,000 lumens. This should be really good for daytime. And he was like, yeah, this is going to be great for daytime. Bro, it's 500 lumens,
5,000.
not 5,000. The first thing I did when I put it on, I set it up on the wall here. And I was like, okay, let me check this out. It looks awesome. It does the keystone automatically. I could set it up on any angle and then it fixes itself automatically. I'm like, this is cool.
The freestyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is pretty neat, you know? And then I started to do some research. Well, actually, I didn't do my full research yet. What I did do though is I did a review how to set it up, how it looks, and I was amazed. And I was like, this is going to be awesome during the daytime. Let me open up my curtains and turn on the lights. I could barely see anything off of it. And that's when I'm like, freaking Digital Slang said 5,000 lumens, and we looked it up and it said 5,000 lumens. This is why I hate to buy anything until I for sure know all the specs 100% are
So wait,
true.
you looked it up and it said 5,000?
He looked it up.
Oh.
And I think he shared an article or something. I don't think it was directly from Samsung either. And it said 5,000. And it might have been one of those rumored pages or something. I don't know. But I went on a research to look things up, and based on the specs on this thing, this projector is maybe worth $100 because it has the name Samsung on it. It might be worth $300. When I went on a deeper research on all the specs that this thing has, like the automatic keystone and like full Android, not whatever they're using, their Samsung thing,
Mm-hmm.
every projector that I found that has the exact same specs as they do, except for the lumens, was half the price. It was about $400. And the lumens were also way better than Samsung was.
But
When I went,
it's the smart UI of it. That's what they're trying to sell. That you don't need to connect it to things. That you're able to do a whole bunch within its own right. No.
but the thing is, when you compare that to those other projectors that do all the same specs, the other projectors do it better and you get more. And when it comes to lumens, you get a lot more. You get the laser, you get the smart keystone, you get all that stuff. And here's the big one. It's coming, like the projector names. Samsung is not in the projector market. They're in the TV market. They're on phones.
Yeah.
They're barely getting into the whole projector thing. These projectors that are half the price are coming from like BenQ. I think it's Supersonic or whatever that big projector name was. Optima. Like it's coming from like projectors that are in the top 5 leading companies. Half the price and they do more. So now I'm selling mine. Because I don't even think I could return it. I think my 30-day window is way gone. Because I was literally like, I want to return this shit. I was pissed, dude. I'm like, for this price that I paid for this projector, I could have gotten something like my Optima. If I put and I did this test too. I put my Optima and the Freestyle side by side, and my Optima was just so much cleaner, so much brighter, so like just crisp. Everything just looks so much better on the Optima.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if I were to spend the exact same amount of money that I spent on the Freestyle, I can get a projector that is like stupid insane. So I was pissed. Anchor, this leads me to Anchor. They have this new projector that's coming
The
out.
Nebula. No?
The Nebula, yeah.
They have a
And
Nebula already.
they have a newer one. I think, and it has all the same features that the Freestyle has, better features than the Optima has. The lumens is not going to be as good as Optima. I think it's like 2,600 lumens or 3,000 lumens, which is still good. It's going to be better than the Freestyle. And of course, if you want more lumens, then it's going to cost you more money. But the projector that Anchor's coming out with is nice. Very,
Yeah, they
very
do have
nice.
some really nice ones. The Nebulas in the past were really good too.
Yeah. So I was very highly disappointed with this Freestyle thing. I was excited because it's Samsung and I love Samsung. I'm a Samsung guy. That's the thing. I love Samsung. So when you tell me Samsung's coming up with a projector, I'm like, I want it. If I would
How
have
much was
known
it?
it,
1,600?
huh?
How much was it?
$900,
900.
dude. That's stupid. For that price, I could have gotten two more. I could have had 2 more Optimas. for that price, I could have gotten something that was like 120 refresh rate for gaming. It could have been like 6,000 lumens. It could have had the laser, the smart keystone, full Android TV. Like it could have been a hell of a lot better projector than this one. And I was thinking like, oh, this will be nice to have for whatever, for this. But then I was looking at it, I'm just like, dude, that kind of sucks. Now I can't. If I want to use it here in the office, I have to make sure it's dark. You know what I mean? And the thing is that I like a well lit room. So in my garage, I have like when I work out in my garage door is open. I have the projector on while I'm watching basketball, the highlights or whatever. And I'm on the treadmill across the room. You know how bad my eyes are. And I could see that projector because I have it pretty big, clean, clear. I could hear everything. I have it connected to a Fire Stick, and I have that connected to 2 Echo speakers, the bulbs. I'm good. And I spent about $400 on that Optima. What's worth around $400.
Right.
That's what
The cheaper projectors have really gotten a lot better in the last like year and a half, 2 years.
absolutely.
Now there's a big difference. I said cheaper. There are some projectors on the market that are like $50 that people think, oh, I'm gonna buy this. No.
And you know what? There's a lot of false advertisement too. There's is every time I do a review, it says like I'll get some of these off-brand Chinese ones that will say, "Oh, look, LCD 7,000 lumens," and I'm just like, "Yeah, this is more like 7D lumens. This ain't no 7,000 lumens." Or I'll say, "This is great for daytime, not nighttime." 7,000 lumens should be daytime. Easy. I started to learn more about this stuff as I'm going on and learning. But yeah, when going back to going to some of these tech conferences, most of the time, and I know you've experienced this, like with TechFluence, for example, when you go there and before you enter a room, they have their PDFs that you could read all their stuff. And right when you click on it, it gives you like their homepage of everything that they got. So you could see the products, you could read on the specs, and then you could go and join them and then talk to them and find out more. So if it's somebody like you that you're like, I'm not a scuba diver, and let's just say you're interested in scuba diving, have you seen those things that you do you swim?
Not very well.
Can you swim?
Not very well.
Not very well. Okay. But you could swim. You won't die, right? You won't sink.
Well, I mean, for a little bit, I could float.
All right, you could float. Okay.
I could float.
So when I went to CES, they had this it looked like a giant bullet round, like this big. And what you do is you put your hands on it and it has a little spinner and then it pulls you. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Have you seen of them? Have you seen those or can you picture it?
Yeah. It helps you swim. It pulls you along, right?
Yeah, pulls you along. You
Yeah.
just hold on to it and you just bzzz, it just pulls you along.
Right.
So you're not a swimmer. You know how to swim. You know how to float. You know how to tread water a little bit. You might survive for a few seconds. And you walk up to a booth that is for scuba divers or for swimmers or snorkelers or whatever. And let's just say you and Preppy are going to go to, I don't know, the Bahamas or somewhere tropical, and it's like, oh, let's go snorkeling and stuff. And you're just like, I don't want to go out there and swim. Like, like I don't want to put too much effort. And this guy says, hey, I have this thing that you could just hold on to it. You put your mask on and everything, and you could just float on top of the water, and this thing will just float you along.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing anything about that. What will your questions be?
Oh, simple. How long does it last? Because I don't want to go out too far and then I'm stranded and I don't really know how to swim and then I'm like, I'll just drown then. Like, yeah.
Right?
How long does it last? Like, is there I mean, I asked this a lot lately. Is there a weight restriction? Because you know, I like to eat, so
All them muscles, man.
right? It's got to be able to pull this big body mass. Is there multiple modes, like different speeds? Yeah, those would probably be the first three questions I would be asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and then obviously I want to know, you know, how does it charge and how long does it take to charge? Because if it only lasts like 20 minutes, can I charge it and jump back in the water within that same excursion? Or you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would be asking the same exact questions. I probably would. I'm okay. So I'm not a snorkeler. I don't scuba dive. I don't do it. I'm afraid of the water. I'll get in. I'll probably have my water shoes on, but I'll get in. And I have actually. Oh, it's downstairs in the garage. I have this full face mask. It's literally like if it covers your entire face and you breathe in normal, and then right up here at the top, it has your a thing that comes up so you can breathe out, you know?
Hmm.
You could also put a GoPro on it too. So if you're just floating up on water, you could still breathe normal and it's going to cuz the tube's above the water. If you go down inside the water, what happens is there's a little ball inside that goes up and it gives you some pressure. So you feel it like, okay, like take a deep breath. And then right when you go down, then the thing goes up and then you can't breathe anymore. You could breathe out a little bit, you know? Um, but now you're underwater. You don't have a gas tank with you. So first couple questions that I would ask is probably the same ones that you would ask. I would also ask, is there any way to add an external battery? If the guy says like, "Oh yeah, you could go about like 10 minutes," I'd be like, "Can I put an external battery on this thing? Because 10 minutes ain't crap."
Yeah, you got a waterproof battery?
Yeah, you got a waterproof battery that I could add on this thing. You know what I mean? Like I would ask certain things like that, just to get on the technical side of that.
But that is not an initial question. That's a
Right.
follow-up question. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And I think most of the times some of the stuff that I would expect on a flyer, if I'm going up to a booth and I see a poster, if I see a billboard or whatever display they have with that thing on the floor, I'm probably going to read it's I'm pretty sure it's going to say like how much time it lasts. It's probably going to say it's waterproof, obviously, if you're going in the water, because someone's going to ask, is this waterproof? I know someone's going to ask. And then it's probably going to say how deep you can go with this thing. The depth of it, if you can go underwater, submerge up to 4 feet below, 4 feet in the water or something. You know what I mean? Like it'll probably have some basic things. So that way, when you do go up, you don't have to ask those basic questions.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It might say 3 speed modes. My question at that point will be like, cool, if it has the speed modes, what are the speed differences? Like is it like 1 mile per hour and then it goes 4 miles and then 6 miles? You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure like they'll give you like some of the basic stuff as you're walking up. Um, for somebody who doesn't I guess for people who are brand new to going into any type of conference, if it's for cars, if it's for tech, if it's for cooking or wedding, get together conventions, whatever it is, um, what would you recommend? What would you recommend? Like when you're going to this, if you're brand new or seasoned?
Um, if you are brand new, chances are you're getting into this because you enjoy watching somebody else do this and you believe that you can do it, right? I'm not saying that you can't, but you believe that you can. So you need to ask the secondary question. What is it about who I watch made me want to do this myself, right? What is it about how they present it and what they talk about, and maybe the order or the questions or the style of things that they present that makes you want to do it, right? Because you kind of need a structure, a flow of things when you're doing these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's great to be passionate about tech, but let's be very real when it comes to making videos and content and being a content creator. Maybe 25% is your passion, and the rest of the 75% is how do you tickle the algorithm? How do you get people interested? How do you pull people in? How do you keep them interested once they've clicked on the video? Because, thumbnails and titles is one thing, but retention is another, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to have a certain flow and a certain things, like what are the real juicy things that people want to know?
Yeah.
And if you're seasoned, you're gonna probably already know a flow, but you want to know how, if it's a new item or a new version of an item, how does this item take either the product, the field, or the consumer to the next level? And if they can't give you an answer, it's your job to find one. You have to be able to think outside the box if you're seasoned. If you have to be able to think outside the box to find a new application in which that item could be applied that not the typical person thinks about when they first look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Trying to see if you had any more. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would suggest for anybody out there that's wanting to go to some of this stuff, of course you're going to be excited to be there. The people that are there representing the company or presenting a product is also excited
Mm-hmm.
for people to see it.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest key on this is selling yourself. Why does a company want to give you something if you can't sell yourself? Because at the end of the day, when you're trying to get something from them, they want something from you.
Well, if you can't sell yourself, how are you going to sell them?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, when ideally, when I first approach any kind of interaction with a company, I mean, it's always in my mind. If I wanted to, I could probably work with a lot of companies that I approach, but I always approach as a consumer. You have to sell me on the item, and if I get excited enough, then I would want to sell that item for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, that's where I would want to make the review. So that's yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Um, a lot of you guys have noticed, for those of you who follow on my Rojas Tech channel, I have a lot of product from Turtle Beach, Rocket, and Neat, which is all owned by Turtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I probably have like 2, 3 pieces of product from them a month, and this has been going on for now the last 5 months.
I've really liked
And
their items, and I wish I was making reviews on them because I really want them. I really want those items.
dude, I have here, I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5. I have 5 pieces of item that I'm not even allowed to talk about yet. And as the products are coming out on my channel, I've had them for maybe a month.
Mm-hmm.
And some of this stuff is supposed to be coming out later this month and early next month. So I'm already like, cool, let me start playing with it now. Let me start understanding how it
Right.
works. Then I could schedule it later. Um, it's they really like, and again, it's kind of like, it goes back to what are they getting? And most of the time, us YouTubers, the most simplest thing from what I've seen in conferences is like, oh, hi, my name is, I don't know, Rojowski's, and I'm a YouTuber and I like to review stuff, so I could review all your stuff. Send me everything you got. Okay, cool. I filled out your form. I'm out. You
Right.
know, and that's it. You know, and
Yeah.
it's to me that doesn't sell anything. That doesn't sell anything. So what I do, and this is personal. This is what I do. I don't try to sell myself to get the products. What I try to do is I try to understand what that product is before I even get there. So by the time I get there and I start talking to them, I already have an understanding of their product. And I think this goes to a lot of stuff. Um, Learning a language, learning how to cook, like whatever it is. When I get there and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, I've been looking at um your camera and it looks like there's dual cameras on there and I see the top one's a 4K and it's a 2K and the bottom's a 1080p. Um, I do see that's wireless and it does look like you can charge it and take it off. I'm like, but it's kind of a downer with that you have to take it off. I'm kind of giving them a problem too with it. I'm like, is
Mhm.
there a way that we could just have it charged the whole time? If you
Mhm.
have that USB-C slot back there, isn't there a way I could tap into that without messing with the plate? I'm already thinking like, hey, I kind of know a little bit of the basics of your product. I have a couple questions
Yeah. I
of
mean,
for me to understand it better, you know?
we've been doing this for a few years now, and we've dealt with companies that actually have come to us for information like that to make improvements to their products.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I guess it comes with experience. Like we're we're interested in this field not because we want to be a YouTuber. We're interested in the field because we like tech and we know what we like, and when we see something that could be better, why not ask for it? Why not demand better products from the industry?
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. It's true. So that's kind of my approach, and I kind of do that with just about everything. About a decade ago, almost a decade ago, I went to Japan and I took the time to learn the language so that way when I get there, I could understand a couple things and say a couple things. And the people there were just like very appreciated that I actually spent time to learn their language, and they're just like that. It shows respect, and I think when you go to these conferences and you know a little bit about the product that's being talked about, it shows the respect that hey, I do my research. Unless it's something like brand spanking new, like they're just like, hey, we're announcing today the new PlayStation 6 that's coming out today also. It's just like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Um, I have questions.
Mhm.
What are the specs? What's the hardware? What's the software? What chipset are you using? You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of questions when something's brand spanking new coming out. But if something has already been announced, and especially if they have pamphlets and that you could do a quick little scan through and read it just to get a gist of something,
Mhm.
go in there with some kind of knowledge because they like that. They're like, "Oh, cool, you're spending time already." So that way you can understand our stuff a little bit better. That way when you get it, you understand it a little bit better. Um, it's just knowing how to sell it so that way you can, you definitely can do it. So yeah, I that will be my advice if anybody's out there going. But yeah, I for me again, I know we worked with BuzzTV before. Well, we still work with Buzz TV, and I got plenty of freaking Turtle Beach stuff here. Ever since I lost my channel, you asked me recently, like, dude, are you still getting products? And I'm just like, nonstop, man. It's
Yeah.
like like right now I have videos that bleed into July, and I'm trying to figure out like how to push some stuff even further out as I'm getting newer stuff in to mix it in there. And there's companies that are just like, hey, can we send you like 3 things? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, you'll get one video in 2-3 weeks, the next video sometime next month. I'm like, I'll give you guys some love, but and the good thing is like with Turtle Beach, they're just like, hey, this doesn't come out till way later, so do it after this
Whatever.
date. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And then I've been doing like comparison videos. I'm like, ooh, this mic versus this mic, which one's better? And I've been kind of, so you just got to get creative with how you do stuff, how you represent stuff. And yeah, it's, like Anchor's been sending me stuff for a while now, for shoot, 2-3 years now.
Yeah, I wish Anchor would send me some stuff. That would be nice.
Dude, there's the 2K security cameras that they sent me that I just reviewed. Super nice, man. And their doorbell too. And yeah, I just got, have you heard of Geek Smart?
No,
Dude,
I haven't heard of them.
Geek Smart is so they sent me this smart door lock. This thing is pretty neat. This little thing up here, it has like a little tag, a wireless
Mhm.
tag, and if you put on it, it unlocks it, or you could do the numbers, or you could use the app, or if you slide this thing over, it has a key in it. There's so many ways that you could get in.
Right.
Um, but they have like smart scales, security. They have security cameras. They have more different types of door locks. They have like a lot of smart home stuff, and I'm just starting to partner up with these guys.
Right.
So I'm like, they're just like, hey, we're gonna send you this one for the first one to see how it goes. That video comes out tomorrow.
Mhm.
Did I tell you that I built a door?
No.
No. Oh my gosh, I got to show you this. So anybody out there that's listening, you're gonna have to come to YouTube to watch it. I'll try to explain this as best as I can. But I built a door because when I get these smart door locks, um, oh, let me mute that. When I get these smart door locks, like how do you install it?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Can't you just buy a door?
A giant door, and then where am I going to put it? You know what I mean? I actually thought about that too, where I'm just like, let me just cut it on the bottom and cut it, and then my buddy who's a handyman is just like, nope, don't do it. He's like, if you do that, you're nah, it's not gonna work. I'm like, really? So look, you see my little door in the back?
Hmm.
It's a little tiny door like this.
Hmm.
It's got it. I built a little platform on the bottom. There's a platform on the bottom. It's just it looks like a T, like an upside down T.
Yeah.
And he has the tools to cut this out like that. Like, so he drilled it out. We drilled the holes in there. He cut through that, made the hole on the side. And this is solid wood. So this thing is not light. But yeah, check it out. There's my door.
That's funny. It works.
And it
Simple.
works. And I'm able, see, here's a little sneak peek. And I'm able to install a lock, a door. Like, I'll go ahead and fast forward this a little bit. But I'm able to install this thing all the way through.
Yeah, and it's at a good height where you can see everything.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I need to do something like that, which would be kind of neat, but cool. Yeah. So hope everybody's enjoyed this episode. Be prepared when you guys go to some of these conferences or
Just be
influence or
yourself. Be genuine.
yeah. And do some research. Don't just show up thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go in there and get all kinds of free stuff. It's you like they're there to give you the free stuff. You gotta get there and do some research. Show them that you appreciate them for the work that they've done, and they're going to show you that appreciation right back. Yeah, so that's all I got. Again, appreciate you guys for coming. Make sure you guys stop by for our next show and let us know what you guys think about this episode. Anything that you guys want us to talk about, leave us a comment below. Next level, what do you got to say before we get the hell out of here?
You know what I say, guys? Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Beyond the Streams. Wherever you guys are listening to us, wherever you guys are watching us, make sure that you leave us a review or a comment so that other people like yourself can find the content that you enjoy. If you are looking to be a part of the conversation, we do have our weekly live streams, typically around 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays on the Beyond the Stream YouTube channel. We do also have the BS Clips channel, which has little bite-sized pieces of the conversation. You never know who's going to stop by. You never know where the conversation is going to go. So you want to make sure you have those notification items turned on. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.